Hey guys! Alright, so today I would like to talk to you about what I am self-conscious of. And I know that everybody has things that they are self-conscious about. It just definitely ranges from person to person. It can be more emotional or physical. And it definitely just depends on the person. Alright, so growing up, I never really, I guess, sprouted at a very young age, you could say. And when I started to do sports going into high school, I realized that I was not as developed as the other girls. And so something that started when I was in high school, a freshman, being self-conscious of was the fact that I had a smaller chest. And I always was thinking in my mind, well, when am I gonna get big boobs? You know, that's the cool thing, you know, that's the end thing. I want big boobs. And so I was just definitely ready to develop and I wanted it now. And so I've never been a patient person. If you watch my videos, you know that I talk about that. And so I started talking to my aunt who raised me about, you know, how come, you know, I don't have bigger boobs. And she just explained to me that I am a smaller girl, I am more petite, and I may never have big boobs. And in my mind, like, I struggled with this and I was not okay with this for the longest time. I will tell you now, after you know, finally getting a little bit bigger boobs, and then going through pregnancy and then going up a cup size and all that, I am definitely happy with not having huge boobs. And I have talked with, you know, some friends that have bigger boobs, and they just have a lot of back pain and a lot of issues relating to the bigger breasts. And you just never think about that. You just think it's like this amazing thing that will make you feel so self-confident and attract all these, you know, attract all this attention. And so you're like, I want that, you know, that'll be great for me. That would like shoot my self-confidence through the roof. And I wished I would have known when I was that age that big boobs are not all that. And so I definitely have grown to feel more self-confident in my skin with time and with age. And I think, as everyone does, you grow into yourself and you start to love yourself and respect yourself. So I think that I definitely love the way I am now, big boobs or not. And I love the fact that I don't have to buy bigger size clothes just to fit into, you know, a t-shirt that I may like or may want, or order a special size because I have huge boobs, or go to a special place to get fitted. I don't have to worry about all that, and that is a blessing. And I feel for the people now that do, because you don't ever think of all the struggles that they go through having a bigger chest. Alright, so the other thing that I have always been self-conscious, excuse me, about is something that runs in my family. You are going to laugh at me, but it is my fingers. I have the boniest, which I am a smaller petite person and I always have been, but the boniest little hands, like bony, bony, bony fingers. And the other thing is my fingers do not go straight. They never have. And so I have learned to love my tiny little fingers. I have tiny thumbs, tiny, tiny thumbs. Now, like my Aunt Lois, I always, you know, looked up to her, and she was like another mom to me. And I would always hold her hand when I was a little girl and looked at her hands, and I can remember her hands are like my hands. And now getting older, you think about things like that. And when I look at my hands or think about, you know, how I am a little self-conscious of them still, I just remember, you know, my Aunt Lois was a great person, and she had these same hands, and it just reminds me of her and all the great times that we had together. So in a way, I absolutely love them. I am not gonna lie, I am still a little self-conscious of them, but as I said, with age, you grow more self-confident, and so I definitely have grown to be more accustomed to my bony little fingers. It just can be a little embarrassing when I go in to get my ring checked, because you got to do that every 6 months, where my husband bought my ring at, and when I go to take it off, and if my hands are swollen that day, if it's hot out, I cannot get my ring off. Like even today, it's probably about 82 degrees out, and my fingers are swollen. And I was surprised that during my pregnancy, I was able to wear my ring all the way up until about 2.5 weeks before my induction day, and then I put it on my necklace and had to start wearing it on my necklace. And then but I did struggle with, after my delivery, for about 2.5 months, 3 months almost, I could not wear my ring. I had so much more water weight after the delivery, and so much more swelling after, that I didn't even look like I had bony fingers anymore. But then I was kind of sad because I couldn't fit my ring. I couldn't wear my ring. Couldn't fit my ring on my finger. And so that was really disappointing, and I wanted to get back to normal. So it's just kind of funny, like, because when you go through pregnancy, most of the time your breasts get bigger. And then I was like, man, I wish I had, you know, my smaller breasts at this point. My back is hurting, and I'm tired of buying extensions for my bras and everything that you go through. And then after the delivery, my hands swell up, and I just wanted to be able to wear my ring again. And it's just funny how things work out. It just seems like no matter what, you might think you want something different, but in the end, you were, you know, put on this earth in a certain way, and you should just love yourself for the way you are, because you're probably, you know, if your body changes in some way, you're probably going to think about that and miss that in some way if it affected you at all. So, all right, going back to thinking about what I am self-conscious about. I don't think that there is anything else. I mean, I'm sure there's days where there's certain areas in my life that I struggle with, but most of the time, now that I'm older, I'm going to be 27 this year, I am pretty self-confident, and I have grown to love myself. So, all you beautiful people out there, whoops, sorry about my camera, all you beautiful people out there, love yourself. Don't ever, you know, tear yourself down or think that you are not beautiful, because you are. You may not have, you know, the straightest hair. You may have the curliest hair ever and want straight hair, and that makes you self-conscious. Or you may have a bunch of freckles and you don't want freckles. Or you may look at your best friend and, you know, want something that she has. But learn to love yourself. You were put on this earth, and you know, you look a certain way for a reason. And I just feel like there are reasons why we are the way that we are, and we should love ourselves for the way that we are. Alright, talk to you soon. Bye guys.